How's it going, FPL managers, and welcome back to another FPL Éire YouTube video. If you're new to the channel, please like this video and subscribe for weekly FPL content. With what seemed to be the longest game week of the season last night, it finally came to an end, and what a climax it had, but we'll talk about this later in the video. We've got another double game week happening this weekend, so it's time to start planning ahead to Game Week 22. In this video, we'll be looking at how my team fared out in Game Week 21, and we'll also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of Game Week 22. Let's get into it. Game Week 21 ends with a score of 79 points for my team. We're just going to jump in straight away with that Bowen captain pick, as his 2 goals last night and his assist earlier on in the week gave me a massive 42 points from giving him the armband. Thankfully I chose him over Antonio, and he definitely returned the favour last night. Other shoutouts must go to Trent in defence, who grabbed an assist against Chelsea, and Jota, Son and Bernardo Silva in midfield, who all grabbed themselves an assist. Big shout out to Mikel Antonio up front also, who scored his goal against Palace, but unfortunately my punt on Dominic Calvert-Lewin didn't pay off, as he missed his penalty against Brighton, and to add salt to the wound, Everton's game against Leicester was called off, so DCL came away with a 0 points return. If Calvert-Lewin scored his penalty, I would have been sitting on a green arrow, but I can't be too disappointed, because at the end of Game Week 21, I'm still sitting at 27k overall. With another double game week just around the corner, let's move on and have a look at my transfer targets for Game Week 22. In my last video, I spoke about as to the reasons why I won't be playing my free hit in Game Week 22. If you want to hear those reasons why, feel free to watch my previous videos. My top priority this week is a replacement for Son, and who else but James Maddison of Leicester, who I'm eyeing up this week. Leicester have a lovely fixture away to Burnley for their first game in double game week 22, and they also face a struggling Spurs side in the second fixture. The Leicester players have also had a rest after their game against Everton was postponed, so I'm predicting Maddison to haul over these 2 games. With Watford having the most favourable double game week this week, Emmanuel Dennis is one of my top priorities to transfer in this week. These 2 games are an absolute must win for Watford, so I'm predicting Dennis to be on form, and hopefully he'll get on the score sheet over these 2 games. He also faces Norwich in Game Week 23 as well, so I'll definitely want him in my team for the next 2 game weeks. With these transfer targets in mind, let's move on and have a look at our transfer plans for Game Week 22. With Son out until the end of January, he is definitely a must go. With him leaving the team, he can pave the path for Maddison to enter my team. I'm rather reluctantly looking at getting rid of Mikel Antonio, but I really think Emmanuel Dennis has to come in this week. The other option would be to get rid of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but Everton should have an upcoming game week, so I want to keep him in my team for this to save me a transfer down the line. If you are planning on free hitting in Game Week 22, I just released a thread on Twitter yesterday with what I believe to be the foundations of a free hit Game Week 22 team. It's something I put a lot of effort into, so feel free to check it out and drop us a follow if you enjoy my content. With that out of the way, let's move on and have a look at how I'm potentially lining up for Game Week 22. I haven't locked in my moves yet, but currently my intended moves are Maddison and Emmanuel Dennis in this week. This will give me a total of 5 double game week players, and it also means I'll have 2 free hit chips left that I'll be able to use in later game weeks. I also have plenty of money in the bank that will allow me to transfer Salah back into my team when he returns from the African Cup of Nations. This leaves my lineup as follows: De Gea in goals, Trent, Rudiger and Cancelo in defence, Bernardo Silva, Maddison, Jota and Bowen in midfield, and DCL, King and Dennis up front. Let's move on and have a look at who I'm considering giving the armband to in Game Week 22. With Watford having the most favourable double game week fixtures, I'm eyeing up Emmanuel Dennis for the armband this week. These 2 games against Newcastle and Burnley are an absolute must-win games, so I'm expecting Watford to go out all guns blaring and hoping Dennis hauls over these 2 games. He's also only blanked twice in his last 7 games, so it shows what kind of form he's currently in at the moment. To add to this as well, Newcastle have only kept 1 clean sheet this season, so I'm expecting Watford to score a few against them. I'm hoping Dennis will be involved. As mentioned earlier, I'll be waiting until just before the deadline before I make my moves. Don't forget to follow me at FPL Éire on Twitter and Instagram, where I'll post my locked in team before the deadline. There you have it. There's my Game Week 22 team. Best of luck for Game Week 22, and I'll see you in the next video.